Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope you're all well. So today we are going to discuss the 12th problem in the TLA Eliminators CP sheet, 800 rated problems. The problem name is sequence game. So let's get started. Let's start by reading the problem. Tima and Vika are playing the following game. First, Vika comes up with a sequence of positive integers a of length m and writes it down on a piece of paper. Then she takes a new piece of paper and writes down the sequence b according to the following rule. First, she writes down the a1, that is the first element of the array, and then she writes down only those a of I such that a of I minus 1 is less than equal to a of I. That means the previous element should be either less than or equal to the current element, then only she will write that element. Let the length of this sequence be denoted as n. For example, we are given an example, and then she gives the piece of paper with a sequence b to Tema. He in turn tries to guess the sequence a. That means the initial sequence, this one, will be given, Tema would be given this sequence. He tries to guess the initial sequence. Tema considers winning in such a game highly unlikely, but he still wants to find at least one sequence A that could have been originally chosen by Vika. Help him and output any such sequence. Note that the length of the sequence you output should not exceed the input sequence length by more than 2 times. We will be given an n and the length of the array. We need to output 2 lines. First would be m and following the m integers. This m and the m integers would be the first array that Vika came up with, this one, and we'll be given the second array, this one. So let's discuss this example first. So we are given 4, 3, 2, 6, 3 and 3. So let's discuss this, how this array would be formed. We'll first place the 0th element as it is. Now we'll move on from the first element. 3 is not greater than or equal to the previous element. 2 is not greater than equal to the previous element. 6 is greater than the previous element. 3 is not greater than equal to the previous element. This 3 is equal to the previous element. So we get the array 4, 6 and 3. And this is what we had here from this. So now we need to convert this back to this or any other array that would give us this answer on performing this operation. So let's look at one thing. If we perform the same operation in this array also once more, so we'll get 4, we'll get 6 and 3 won't be there. So we also need 3 in the final operation. In order to get 3 in the final operation, the array, like the previous element for 3 should be less than 3. Then only we'll get 3. It should be less than or equal to 3. So what we can do is we'll just add another 3 and 3 here in order to get this array, right? So on applying the operation, we'll get 4, 6 and 3. That's our array. So what can we infer from here is, if the current element is greater than equal to the previous element, then we can push it as it is. Else, if it is less than, like in this case, then we'll push something. We'll push x. Now what should be that x? Actually, we'll be pushing 2 elements. And we'll push the current element as well. Now what should be x? X can be either the current element or the previous element. Which one should we take? We would take the minimum of the both. So we don't have any conflict. So this is all in the approach. We'll take the minimum of both of them. Now let's try some sample test cases. Let's take this one. 1, 7, 9, 5 and 7. Again we will write 1 as it is. 7 is greater than the previous element, so we'll push 7. 9 is also greater than the previous element, so we'll push 9. Now 5 is lesser than the previous element, so we'll push the minimum of them, that is 5, and the current element as well. 7 is greater, so we'll push 7. So this is one of the possible answers. Let's try the last test case now. 1, 2, 2, 1 and 1. So first element would be pushed as it is. Now 2. The first element would be pushed as it is. The second element is greater than equal to the previous element. The third element is also greater than equal to the previous element. Now this one is less than the previous element. So we'll again push the minimum of both of them, that is 1 and 1. This is greater than equal to the previous element, so we'll just push 1. So this should be our answer, and this is also the answer that is given, and the size is 6. So we need to print the size of this and the array. I hope you get the approach. Now let's move on to code this up. Now let's code it up. I have my boilerplate code here. We'll be given an n, and that would be the size of the array. I will make an array of size n, and I will take all of them as inputs. Once I get the input, I'll make an answer array. In the answer, I will push back the first element as it is. Now I will start from the first index. I will go on till the last index. Now if ARR of I, that is the current element, is greater than equal to ARR of I minus 1. Current is greater or equal to the previous, then we'll push the current element, that is ARR of I. Otherwise, we will first push the minimum of both of them, and then we will push the current element. In the end, we will print out the size of the answer array and then the answer array. And then enable in the end. That's our code. Let's try for the sample inputs now. So it is working. Now let's try to submit it. Paste and submit. It is running and it got accepted. I think you got the approach and the code. The solution code would be in the description section. Do check it out. Also, this is a series for all the problems in the CP sheet. Do check all the other problems as well. Like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.